Welcome. I am Vuyani from Let's Check In. Today I'm excited to introduce to you our new podcast, Let's Check In SMME Edition. Now, this podcast is established to help bridge the information gap within the SMME community. We will bring you expert advice and practical tools on how to run a business. So if you want to start your business, grow your business, or even exit it someday, this is a podcast that you want to tune into. We will air our episodes every Tuesday and Thursday at 5 o'clock. So if you want to start, grow, and exit your business someday, please, I encourage you, join in. Let's learn together. Until next time. Lerato, we meet again. Welcome.
Thank you.
To Let's Check In SMME Edition.
Thank you.
Thank you for, taking us up on our request for you to become a friend of the podcast.
Yes, I did approve the friend request with pleasure.
And now we are friends.
Yes.
It's official. So they'll be seeing you again.
Yeah. So when we sign off, we mustn't say goodbye. We'll say see you later.
See you later.
Yes.
Yeah, you're almost like a co-host of this one. One of the trainings that you do is SARS compliance.
Yes.
And today we are going to talk about that introduction into SARS compliance.
Okay.
Tell us a bit about the training that you're doing. I know that you have something coming soon that some of our guests or viewers would be interested in.
Mm-hmm. So we are running a series of business compliance training online with Modise Training Academy. We have started with the CIPC training in October, and in November, we will be doing the SARS introduction to SARS compliance training.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And what are your dates?
So 13 November or 27 November. So you have an option to choose for the SARS compliance training, which day you want to sign up for.
Is there a cost?
This one is going to be for free. Okay. Because it's an introduction. It's kind of like a taster, when you're out and they give you taste before the meal or something, or they make you taste the wine before they bring the bottle.
The starter.
So this is like the taster, so that next year when we run the training series where there will be a cost involved, then you know the information that you're going to be getting to.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. For someone who's registered a business or someone who's had a business for a while, but they never registered with SARS, why is it important that people must register with SARS?
It's all part of compliance. Like I said, our training is about compliance. So with being compliant, there's certain benefits you get or certain doors that can be opened for you that maybe you would not get if you are not compliant. As much as you have to have a company registered with CIPC, you also need to also be registered with SARS to ensure your compliance, to show that you are also participating to the country's economy.
Yeah. Legitimacy
also.
Yeah. I see. Okay. And then, so the guy that we're talking to last week who went to register their business, when they go onto SARS, which is now online, that online portal, is it linked to the CIPC, portal? Is it linked to the SARS, or do they do the CIPC and then they need to go to SARS?
So CIPC and SARS are two separate bodies. Yes, they're all part of the South African government, but they have their own responsibilities. Okay. That's why when you have to submit your annual returns to CIPC, and then you must also submit your annual returns to SARS. Okay. Two different logins. They don't talk to each other in that regard. Where SARS and CIPC might talk to each other is with your tax number, because when you do register a company, you do get an assigned tax number. Then when you go to SARS to register with SARS, you have a tax number. Okay. Then you can start doing your other tradings, let's call it, with SARS that are specific to SARS.
Okay. What are the different SARS, tax?
The tax types.
Tax types that I can register for with SARS.
So it depends on what business you're doing, but the tax types that you need to be compliant with is you have your personal tax. That's you as an individual. Then when it comes to business, you have your income tax. That's your profit and loss of the business. If you're making a profit, there's income tax you need to pay into SARS, which is a certain percentage. And then you have your PAYE, that's pay as you earn. That's for employees. When employees also have an obligation to pay tax to SARS. And if you're a business owner with employees, your employees should be paying PAYE tax.
Okay.
So that's income tax and PAYE tax. And then you have your VAT.
Okay.
So I know VAT is a contentious issue, but your value added tax. So that's the value added to certain items that you must pay the government for as a company. So those are the main categories of tax. And then, like I said, the first one, your personal tax, you as an individual.
Yeah. The income one, let's talk about the income tax in short, Do I now, if I go sell a packet of chips for 10 rands and then I make a profit of 2 rands, do I run to SARS to pay after I make the profit immediately, or there's with SARS, what's nice, like SARS will never take more than what they say they will take. Yeah.
So it is quite regulated. So with SARS, if you make a certain amount of money, then you get taxed a certain percentage. If your income is at a certain level, then a certain percentage applies. So if your income is not at the level where SARS is going to take your money, you don't pay the tax. If your income is at a level where they're taking 20%, they'll take 20%. If it's at a level where they're taking 47%, they'll take 47%, just as an example. So you have to be earning at a certain level, and then it evokes what percentage SARS will demand that you pay to them.
Okay. And this is not a weekly payment that I need to make, every time I reconcile at the end of the week.
No, it's not a weekly payment. But let's be clear on this. This is why also we're doing the introduction, so people can have some idea, because there's the nitty-gritties of it. But the income tax is when you submit your annual tax returns. So that's once off. But your VAT, your value-added tax, it depends also what level of income your company is at. You could be paying it monthly or every 2 months.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's dependent on what level you are at.
It varies.
Yeah.
Pay as you earn.
That is monthly. That one is monthly.
Basis.
Yes, because you give your employees salaries monthly. But you do have the option to pay it to SARS at the end of the year or monthly, depending how your payroll system is set up.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And let's talk about VAT some more. What is your...
VAT.
Yeah, what is your honest sentiment? I mean, I know a lot of businesses are battling with VAT specifically. Can anyone register for VAT? Is it everyone who must register?
That's a good question. With VAT, and this is what I think some businesses don't know, and this is why we're doing the introduction. Some people think you must register for VAT. You don't have to register for VAT. You don't have to play the VAT game until you're at a certain level. Remember, SARS wants you to be at a certain level. When your company is making turnover of 1 million and up, that's when you must register for VAT. You don't have a choice. You must.
1 million and more per annum.
Per annum.
Okay.
If you are making less, you don't have to. But also for other compliance factors, maybe you are applying for funding or you're applying for a government tender, and that tender insists that you must be VAT registered and VAT trading. Then you don't have a choice. Even if you're making 200K per annum, then you must register for VAT, because now you need it. You need that VAT number for your compliance for something else. But if you don't have any contracts or clients that are requesting that you are VAT registered, you don't have to play the VAT game.
Okay.
Because the VAT game is tough, man.
Yeah, it's not easy.
It's nip up and place, as they say.
Okay. But basically, SARS cannot refuse me to register for VAT if I'm not turning over 1 million. If I want to register.
They won't refuse you.
Okay.
They won't refuse you.
And okay. So they will not refuse me. Can a company force me to register for VAT?
Yes. Depending if that company is a client that you want the deal with.
Okay.
Then they say, for example, with some government tenders, before you win the tender, or when you're applying for the tender, they say they want this and this. Like with tenders, they want all these different compliance documents. One of them could be that you must have a VAT number.
Okay.
Or now that tender, that company is kind of forcing you
Yeah.
to now register for VAT. Or you have a supplier, and the supplier, before they supply you, they want you to be registered with VAT because they are registered with VAT. Because remember, VAT, there's an income VAT and the outgoing VAT. And companies, what they try to do is balance the two out so that you don't pay too much VAT. As much as you're paying VAT out, you want somebody to also be paying you VAT in, so that it balances out, so you're not paying SARS too much of the VAT. So some companies will force you in that regard so they can balance the scales of the VAT going in and out.
Okay. And now if I have a business that sells round white stuff that is a nice
Games.
product that
Games.
somebody's demanding, can I, and I'm not VAT registered, can I charge VAT on this?
You should not. Why are you charging VAT? You're not in the game. Why are you playing the game when you're not in the game? If you want to play the VAT game, you must register for VAT.
Okay.
Because now you're being unfair and you're trying to defraud SARS in a way, or that company. And you might get away with it for a while, but SARS is very efficient. It's one of the most efficient systems in our government.
Yeah.
Eventually, they will catch you out.
So essentially, anyone that charges me for VAT, I have a right to say, but can I see your VAT number?
Please do. You must. You must ask for the VAT number.
Okay.
Because, they could be now gaining more money from you and then not paying it over to SARS. And you could be implicated in that.
Yeah.
Should they get in trouble?
Yes. For those SMMEs that are registered for VAT, a lot of us, we end up using this VAT money that gets paid over to us for other things, Now I charged 100,000, I'm getting 115, that's coming into my account, and I end up using it for something else. For someone who is having this problem, what is your number one tip to them?
Hey, and this problem, it happens a lot. First, I would like to highlight to everyone, and you need to understand, VAT is not your money. It belongs to SARS. The percentage you take out from your income tax to pay over to SARS is not your money. It does not belong to you. I know it's your money. Yes, it went into your bank account. I understand.
Yeah.
You worked hard for it. I understand. And that's why it's so difficult to part with it. But it does not belong to you anymore. That certain percentage that SARS demands when you are at a certain level, when you are being paid for this service and VAT starts getting into play, you remove that percentage of VAT and you put it away and you forget about it. And then when it's time to submit your VAT, that's when you pay it over to SARS, because it is not your money. So the first tip I need people to understand, and I know it's difficult to swallow, it is not your money. It does not belong to you. So if something doesn't belong to you, I get you're not going to use it.
Yeah.
That's why when I get this point into people's heads,
it's very difficult because this money is in my account.
I get you. It's in your. It's
and
yours.
Nobody is trying to stop me from spending it.
You think they're not stopping you. You will
At
spend
least
it.
for now.
You'll spend it. You'll think, you're having a nice time. 4 years down the line, Sarah says, wait a minute. You've been spending our money. Where's this VAT money? Then they start getting investigated. You now need to submit a lot of documents to SARS. Now they want to come to your offices to check your books and check, because they're looking for their money. Because it's not your money. It's theirs. So that's why I say also be careful before you play the VAT game, that you must understand that portion is not yours. So another tip I can give people, apart from drowning it into their head, that is not your money, that you need to budget well. Some of us, we get, how can I say, we get excited when we see that we've invoiced somebody 200,000, they're going to be paying 200,000. You get excited because you want the deal, you got the money.
Yeah.
You need to understand when you before you even get paid, before you even send out that invoice for 200,000, before you get paid that 200,000, you must establish a budget. In this 200,000, they're going to be paying. Let's say you're providing a service. In this 200,000, they're going to be paying. How much is my operational expenses? We take it back to basic accounting principles now. What's your operating expenses? How much income am I expected to get after my operating expenses? And remember, after that income, there's now the VAT and the tax that you must deduct, which is not your money, that you need to put aside. Then you get to your true profit. Then you can see what goes in your pocket. When you get to the profit after tax, That's your money. That's the one you can put in your pocket
and dip your hands in.
And dip your hands is yours. That one is completely yours, because you've minus now your operational expenses, your petrols and all of that are covered, your employee salaries are covered, your airtimes and datas are covered, your tax is covered. Then what's remaining? That now belongs to you. So you need to make a budget and see what money actually belongs to you. That's when you can see, okay, this much I must pay to SARS this month or next month. This much I must pay to the employees. This much I must pay to Shell Garage for their petrol. This much I must pay to the bank for their bank charges. That's what I advise. Have a budget for any money that's coming in. Budget it well.
And put aside the SARS
immediately.
VAT.
Immediately. When that 200,000 clocks, you calculate how much belongs to tax man, put it aside and we'll forget about it. I don't care if the project is starting to operate, your services are maybe an extra days added and you can see now you're going to operate at a loss. If you need more money to cover petrol costs, find that money somewhere else. Don't take SARS money.
So VAT is not your fundraising opportunity.
It's not your fundraising opportunity. It's not your savings account. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not your money.
Penalties. Let's talk about penalties. Because now I've used this money for, the next project that I'm supposed to pay SARS, and the guy doesn't pay me, and now SARS comes knocking. What are the penalties or interest for failure to pay your the monies that are due to SARS?
Yes, they are. And what is painful with SARS is that they charge you both penalty and interest.
Okay.
So it's not just one form of penalization. They also even charge interest on your penalty. So it becomes very, very heavy to owe SARS. That's why I encourage you to put SARS money aside, because it's not like a bank interest where they're just going to add a 6%. It's quite heavy. It's a lot. And then when you still don't pay and they're starting to add now the interest, you'll see that you could have rather have paid them their 10,000 instead. Now you're now owing them 120,000
from 10,000
because you refuse to pay their 10,000.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's worthwhile to submit in time, because also late submission, you get penalized for that. Okay. You get penalized for submitting. With SARS, it's all about submitting on time and paying them what is due. So
you're saying if I owe SARS 10,000, they can add a penalty. I'm just going to make an example, 2,000 rands. And then add interest on the 12,000 rands.
Yes.
Shoo.
Yeah. And I believe the amounts you're talking about are small. 2,000 is small.
Okay. What percentage?
When it starts getting bad, SARS adds penalties that the 100%. And interest of, it could even go up to 200%. When you're really owing SARS a lot of money, your penalties and interests are in the hundreds of percentages range, where you now have to go to SARS and beg them to make arrangements to pay, because maybe you don't have the money, and they don't stop penalizing you until you pay. So they could add penalties either daily or monthly, depending on which tax you are, delayed with paying. Yeah.
So for someone who is in the situation that we're talking about right now, someone who's missed payments or used the money for other things. I don't want to say misuse. Maybe it is misusing. What can they do? I mean, there's someone who's watching this podcast and is thinking, actually, I'm in that situation. I owe SARS, 100,000 rands, and I don't know what to do. I'm thinking of closing this business. Should I close the business and just disappear?
Yeah.
Should I
ignore it?
Yeah, ignore
Act like
it.
It's not happening. Until it goes away. Maybe SARS will forget about me.
Yes.
Some people use a lot of excuses to convince themselves. They won't work. SARS will not forget about you. They will not. You will think, no, they're going after the people who are siphoning billions from the country. No, they even want you who's shortchanging them, got 2,000 rand. They attack you as much as the ones that are owing them millions and billions. That's how serious they are about their money. So what I would advise you to do is, first of all, don't think the world is over or life is over because you are owing so much money. You don't know how you're going to get there. The immediate thing you need to do is to contact SARS and make them aware that you have intention to pay this money. If you are struggling to pay it, you can contact them to say, what arrangement can I make? Because I don't have this money now. Because remember, SARS goal is not for businesses to close down, because that's not aligned with the country's goal of creating more employment and alleviating poverty and things like that. Because they're a government entity, they are as much committed with the plans of the country for improvement.
Yeah.
So not to say they will forget about the money you owe them, but they can give you a chance to pay the money, pay it within a certain amount of time, the time that you might even need. You can even negotiate, okay, I can pay this over so many years. And they'll say, okay, then you need to give us this much per month over the next 5 years until your debt is paid. But obviously you must also continue then paying your taxes every month that are due and making your submissions every month. So contact us. That would be my answer. Contact us, tell them you don't have the money but you have intentions to pay. What can you do about it? Yes, you can also even go to accountants that can liaise for you with SARS to make those arrangements. But let's say you don't even have the money for that, because accountants are not going to do it for free either, because it's their skills and their connections and time and all of that. So they're going to charge you. Let's say you don't have the money. You can set an appointment to a SARS office and then go there and plead your case and see what arrangement they can do for you. Because, like I said, the intention is not to close business now. They want businesses to be sustainable. So if they can help you out with a payment arrangement, they will do so.
Yeah. If I'm just thinking now, because you're talking about accountants. If somebody's starting, they want to register with SARS, do they need an accountant? Can they go to SARS directly? Would you advise that if I'm starting my business today, or I've been running this business for 5 years, and now I registered the business and I want to get my SARS registration in place, do I need to go to an accountant, or can I just go to a SARS office and knock and say, guys, I'm having a business and this is me, I need to register?
Be compliant.
Yeah.
So I really love that question. And not to take money away from other people's businesses, you can do it without an accountant or a business consultant. You can go to SARS and register yourself, because SARS, okay, I'm going to be honest, SARS used to be very good with their call center, where anything you needed, they could help you on the call center. But I don't know if you've seen, there's been a lot of vacancies because SARS, people, okay, maybe because I'm in the HR space, I see the vacancies, people, there's a turnover. There was a point where there was a lot of turnover of staff because SARS. Okay. So I think some of the consultants are still in their training phase when you call them. That's just my opinion. But SARS used to be very, very good with guiding you and giving you all the information you need, to the point where you could do it yourself. You don't need an accountant. So what I would advise them is see what level you are at in your business, because there's a point where you're going to need an accountant, because things will take now more time. And you as the business owner need to focus on operations or sales to get more business in. And then the SARS part is very admin intensive and about crunching numbers. We're not all good with numbers. So what level is your business at, I would first say. And if it's still at the startup small phase, you can do it yourself. And with companies like ours, Modise Training Academy, that's why our aim is to teach you to do these things yourself up until a point where you can no longer do it yourself and now you must hire someone. Because not everybody has the funds to pay these accountants or business consultants. So we at least can train you to have the skills to know that you can approach or how to approach and what you need to do so that you can do it yourself when you need to do it for yourself.
Okay. Is there any question that you think I am missing or I should be asking, or anything that you can think about that we did not talk about here in as far as SARS compliance intro is concerned?
I think we covered the intro of it. Obviously, we didn't go into detail. Even this training that we're doing is not going into the detail. We scratching the surface.
We gave them the free course here.
Yeah. We gave them the taster. Yeah. So I think in terms of this intro, I think you've asked all the relevant questions, because the message that I really wanted to get across is to be compliant with SARS. Don't try and run away from SARS. Don't try and hide. They will find you. SARS have dedicated agents that search companies to find who's not compliant, especially with the corruption happening in the country and money going missing.
Yeah.
The country needs the money. So...
And I do want to agree with you, especially with AI coming in. It's going to be even easier to find a lot of things that a person is
trying to hide.
Trying to hide, but also the SARS agent is taking long to uncover. So with AI, a lot of things would be quite easier to...
And can I tell you, with SARS, they already have some of those systems that do searches without a human being, where it's clicks of a few buttons, and the searches come up, and then they divide it amongst themselves to say, okay, you go after these ones, you go after these ones, you go after these ones. So, because for me, SARS is one of the systems. Their systems are the most innovative. I think SARS spends a lot of time with their systems.
Okay.
They get the innovation before Home Affairs or CIPC. The innovation, you see it mostly in SARS. So you'd be surprised that these AIs you're talking about, they're already being used.
Yeah.
Maybe one question I can think of that we didn't cover, we can say, what is the difference between tax avoidance and tax evasion?
Oh, yes.
Because that's something that's like a topic that's like, because one is a criminal, there's criminal elements that are there. So in terms of, most accountants and business consultants, they will show you how to avoid tax, but not evade.
Yeah.
English is a difficult language, so please hear me out. Avoid and evade are two separate words. Evading tax is a criminal offense where you purposely hide the tax money from the tax man. You are evading them on purpose.
Okay.
That is a criminal offense.
That would be you deliberately not paying over the VAT.
Yes.
And continuing as if everything is normal.
Yes.
Okay.
That question you asked, okay, somebody has charged the VAT, they are evading tax if they've eaten that VAT money. Because remember, it does not belong to you. It's almost like you're a thief. You're stealing from your government.
Because you're asking it from the client.
Yes.
And you're saying it's because SARS is asking for it.
Yes.
But then you don't take it to SARS.
You put it in your pocket. That's evading, criminal offense. And then there's tax avoidance, where you are ensuring that your books are balanced enough that you avoid paying too much tax, because maybe you need the money for your cash flow and things like and operational costs and all of that. Then you set up your spending to avoid paying a lot of tax. You can't avoid paying tax at all. When we say avoid, is avoid paying too much, because some people also get taxed overly because they don't know how to set up their books, or they don't know how they must spend their money. People take for granted, especially the older generation, that no, this is my money, I can do whatever I want with it. No, I can buy that, or I can pay for that. It's my money. But when you get money from the business, there's a way that you must spend that money, because actually that money is not your money, it's the business's money. I know you own the business, so you think it's your money. I know it's a weird concept, but when money comes into your business, it's not your money. It belongs to the business.
To the business, yeah.
So you need to spend it in a way that it's beneficial for the business. Like I said, only after you've paid all your taxes and all your operational spends, and there's that profit after tax, that's then your money as the business, or the shareholders' money. Let's say that. If you're a shareholder, then that's your profit to split. But there is a way you can avoid being overcharged in tax by making sure your books are set up right. For example, with payroll and PAYE, your pay-as-you-earn tax for employees.
Yes.
Some people think, oh, this employee is earning this much. Okay, maybe I don't have to pay that tax or whatever. So then you don't pay the tax, and then now you get penalized and you get interest. Now you're paying too much tax. To avoid paying too much tax like that, you must know at what bracket employees must earn for you to start deducting the PAYE tax in order to pay to SARS. Okay. So that's teaching you to avoid getting penalties. Basically, you're avoiding to get penalties and interest from SARS by making sure you pay your tax in the right way.
In the right way.
Yeah.
Okay. We call it tax structuring.
Yeah.
Tax structure. Okay. Lerato, I think that's it for today. I see Crystal is almost falling asleep.
No, he's worried. He's not falling asleep. He's worried already. Have I been doing the right things?
Yeah.
Hey, SARS will make you shake. That's why we're doing this training, so you don't have to be scared. Just be calm and do the right things so you can sleep at night.
Yeah. I'm waiting for him to start his own business and then deal with SARS. Then he's going to be wide awake when we have this.
Crystal must join Modise Training Academy's training for SARS. Then don't worry.
Yes, definitely.
Vuyani won't get his wish for you to shake. Yeah. That's a tip I can give Crystal.
Okay, Lerato, thank you very much for gracing us with your presence today and sharing the knowledge that you've shared with our viewers. I hope somebody has learned. I hope someone, at least now they know how to register a business and what is SARS and what are those compliances that they need to think about, or different, what do you call them, taxes?
Yes, tax types.
Yes,
tax
types.
Yes.
Nice. So, Lerato, thank you very much. We hope you join us the next time to discuss another topic, but we really appreciate you.
Thank you. It was a pleasure being here, and definitely I will see you later because we're friends like that.
Yep, my new co-host.